Tuesday at the State of the Union, the cameras told a story no speech could hide. While America was watching, some chose silence over support and politics over country. And that decision may have backfired. Welcome to Faith and Freedom, the conversation. I'm Kathy Ryan. I'm here with my co-host, Latanya Evans, and welcome to Friday night and Faith and Freedom, the conversation. Please like, subscribe, and comment. We ask that you, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the chat. And at the end of the show, we will get to your questions and respond to some of your comments. So, Latanya.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that was quite something, that the speech and what the Democrats were doing. It was unbelievable. So let me ask you, did you think that Tuesday night was more about policy disagreement or political posture?
I think it was more political posture than policy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. They said they were going to boycott it. 74 Democrats did not attend. And if you guys watched it, you saw the lunacy of those people. I mean, we got some highlights and we got some lowlights and stuff. I think what we'll do is we'll start off with one of the highlights of the evening.
Okay.
So I'm going to set this up.
All right. Hey, Shireen, thank you so much for being here with us, sis. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. So, Shireen, you said you didn't watch it. You didn't watch it. Okay. Yeah, it was. I watched it. It was. Oh, thank you, thank you, sis. Yeah, I did watch it, and it, it was long, but it kept your attention. Oh, oh, you're muted.
It was the longest State of the Union speech in history. It was an hour and 47 minutes.
It was.
So
It was.
it was an hour and 47 minutes.
So are these, before you play the clip, are the State of the Unions, are they not supposed to really be that long? Just a brief overview of the condition of the country? I'm just curious.
Well, historically, the State of the Union is mandated through the Constitution's Article 3 says that the president is to give an update to Congress on a regular basis. It hasn't, it initially was not a yearly thing. The president would go in front of Congress, let him know what his thoughts are, what he wants to see happen, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, what happened was, and I forget who started it. I have to go back and look at my notes. But one of the presidents started just writing a letter to Congress. And that was tradition for a good while until I believe it was 1913 when Woodrow Wilson, he started addressing Congress in person again. Mm-hmm. And then when radio came, they started airing it on the radio, and then in 1947 they started airing it on television.
Okay.
And so then it became a tradition where every year, in the month of February, it usually is sometime in February, the president will address Congress. And it became a thing where, since television, that the American citizens can be a part of it.
Oh, okay.
So, he had a lot to say in his State of the Union speech. There was a lot that he has done in the last year. We all know that. I mean,
Yeah.
he closed the border. He
Mm-hmm.
is trying to get immigration under control by deporting all these people. He set it up and where people can self-deport. And I think there's 1 million people that have self-deported already, besides the millions that criminals that they've caught. Um, the tariffs have helped and strengthen our country, and I know that the Supreme Court recently ruled that his tariffs were unconstitutional. But he's got backup plan after backup plan after backup plan for that. So, but that's a little bit of history on the State of the Union.
Okay.
Okay. So this is I feel was one of the highlights of his speech.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay.
Why
So
didn't they escort that lady out like they did the guy who held the sign up?
she stopped doing it. They gave
Because
her, yeah, they gave her opportunity to do it. But I got another video of Rashida Tlaib, the woman in the white jacket next to Ilhan Omar, in the in the headscarf, whatever that it's called. So watch this one.
Okay.
Watch it.
What was she doing?
Watch. Oops, not that one.
Okay,
She was shouting KKK while everyone else was shouting USA.
but you notice that the lady in the scarf, I'm like, that would be real. That's really crazy. I think it's a hijab,
Hijab. That's right.
hijab. So the lady in the hijab. Thank you, Shireen.
Ilhan Omar. Call her out by name. Ilhan Omar.
Ela Omar. Okay, so Ela Omar. You notice if the lady beside her was saying KKK, well, she wasn't saying anything. How crazy would that be for her to? You
Because she thinks the same as Rashida Tlaib. They're two in the same pod. Rashida Tlaib is pro-Palestinian. Ilhan Omar is pro-Somalia. She's come out and said that she is working for Somalia, not the United States.
And no one's called her out on that. That's just hard for me to believe that.
Well, of course they called her out on it, but she doesn't respond to anything. When the reporters come up to her and ask these questions, she's like this and walks on by. She doesn't respond to reporters or anybody asking those questions.
And what about when she goes on these like CNN or Fox? Well, she hasn't been on Fox, but
CNN, you have to understand, CNN and MSNBC or MS Now or whatever it's called, those are liberal networks. They agree with her. They hate America too.
So why are they here?
Good question. Well, we're all asking the same question. If you hate America so much, but yet you left your country because it was bad and you didn't have opportunities to come to the United States where you have opportunity.
Right.
And then you want to turn it right back into the country that you left. She should be removed from Congress and she should be deported.
Yeah. She
should lose her naturalized citizenship. She did become a citizen. That was the only way that she could become a congressperson. So I'm going to throw this out to our audience here. So if you're not a naturally born citizen in the United States, should you be able to hold public office? I'm just curious. If you were not born on United States soil, should you be able to hold public office? You become a citizen the right way, mind you.
Okay.
You go through the steps and all of that, but you were not born here.
Well, what do you say, Shireen? As long as you become a citizen. Okay. I would say if you came legally over here and you went through the natural process of becoming naturalized, then I say yes, you can. However, if you start to do that kind of like if what you're saying, Kathy, that she said she is for the Somalian country, not to say that you have to disown your country that you come from, but if you are saying, oh, I'm working for another country and you're serving in the current country you're in government, then I would say you need to be removed from that. Now, to be out of the country, I don't think it rises to that level, but you do need to, because you're supposed to be representing the people in the current country. You're not in that position and saying, I'm working for Somalia. You're working for the best interests of the people in the country. Now, if she starts to then say, let's say she's removed from that seat, and then she is saying anti-American stuff and a whole bunch of just crazy stuff, then I think that either one or two things. What about a natural born American? How are they how are they addressed in that situation?
If they're a natural born citizen here in the United States, here's the requirements. Okay. To be president, you must be a natural born citizen. You cannot be naturalized. In other words, come from another country and then be president. And you have to be at least 35 years old. and must have lived in the United States for 14 years. So they can live abroad and come back. The Senate must be a citizen for at least 9 years and at least 30 years old and must live in the state you represent. The House of Representatives, Congress members, must be a citizen for at least 7 years and at least 25 years old and must live in the state you represent.
The issue to me is not about now, unless it starts to run into a situation where you're trying to, like, oh, let's burn the Constitution, let's do this, let's do that. But the woman needs to be moved out of
Agreed.
Congress. Now
Agreed.
I agree with that. She needs to be moved out of Congress.
Right.
So maybe there needs to be a petition for that.
Yeah. Well, call your congressman, call your representative who represents your district and tell him she doesn't represent the United States. She needs to go.
This isn't even about, she does not. Right. You know what? Who knows?
All right.
Know?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Moving on. So I'm queuing up another video.
Okay.
I'm going to mute myself.
I want to put this up and show this. Citizens, and let's just say if my dad wanted to run for office, why not? He worked here, became a citizen, etc. I agree with that. I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah.
But if you start spouting off things like Ilhan Omar, no, you need to go. Okay. So here's another despicable moment. One of the most shameful moments of the night.
The most disgraceful moment for me was when President Trump was talking about Irina Zarutska. Her parents were there, her grieving parents, and he paid tribute to her, and the Democrats couldn't even stand for the grieving parents of this young woman.
Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zarutska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
Unbelievable. That, to me, is one, boycotting the State of the Union is disrespectful to the office of the president. I don't care what your political reasonings are or whatever. You don't like him. You hate. Well, they didn't show up because they hate him, and isn't totally about his policies. It's about him, the person, and they don't show up for that. Then they don't show up. They don't stand up for American citizens, for America first, and then they don't stand up for a grieving mother who died because of some criminal that had been arrested, 13 times and let out?
Was he an illegal immigrant?
No,
Okay.
he was a
Okay.
schizophrenic. I
Okay.
think he had
Okay.
mental problems. He heard voices that he was asked why he killed her, and he said I could hear her brain talking about me. Something along that effect. He heard voices. He was ill. He had some mental issues going on there. So it just um I don't get it. So, you know,
The hate that these people, and I'm not saying blanket, throwing a blanket, saying all of them, but it's so disturbing because it's like they seem to literally be up under some type of, I don't want to say I mean, it's like they are in prison. Like they look around to see who's going to stand. You can't think for yourself.
right.
And now they did stand, but what they stood on, which is so it was about uh having a check on inside trading.
They stood on that, and they stood on the
And they stood
US hockey team.
on the hockey team. So they stood on that, but you could best believe they probably did that and chose that so that they wouldn't totally, seem like
Mhm.
they are against American. Like, okay, we can stand for the hockey team because that has nothing to do with
Right.
however. Then they stood for the inside trading. But I was like, wow, like, and I mean, whew,
Yep. Exactly. So I got another highlight video here, and I'm going to mute myself, Latanya. So carry it on.
okay. Um, it's just what do you all think about this? About how they couldn't even stand for the woman, the grieving parents, and then of course about America. And just like a video I saw, it said how he didn't say, oh, just for a certain ethnicity. It's for all Americans, whatever your ethnicity is.
Right. So here's some more. I wouldn't say highlights. I'd say lowlights. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. The reason Al Green, which, mind you, last year he got thrown out too of the State of the Union. They escorted him out. Black people aren't apes. There is a mean video going around there of a man in a suit wearing a gorilla mask asking a question to a blue-haired or purple-haired woman standing at a podium. So he's taken offense that the person in the gorilla mask is a black person, which President Trump had nothing to do with it. Some crazy person out in the world created a meme video. So that's what that means. And there he is getting escorted out again.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Surutska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand? Here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in. Go ahead, ladies.
So they stand up for the hockey team. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I have my thoughts about why I think they may have stood up for the insider trading thing. My thinking is that maybe they're happy because the ones who are not benefiting from it, they're like, yeah, crack
Mhm.
down on it. And maybe that's why they stood up, because I'm like, why else would they have stood up? And
Right.
then it makes no sense why they wouldn't even stand up for that poor woman, and
They didn't even stand up for the 100. There were two
I know.
100-year-old World War II veterans. They didn't stand up for them. They didn't stand up for the helicopter pilot that was injured in the Maduro
Yep.
capture.
Yep.
Well, I mean, seriously, how much can you hate The
Well,
United States.
well, remember last time they didn't stand up for that little boy. Remember the boy
No.
that
Yeah.
has cancer? They didn't stand.
Yes.
They didn't. Yeah.
Yep. And they didn't stand up for the girl who the schools kind of, I wouldn't say coerced, but they encouraged her to transition into
Yep.
a boy and didn't tell her parents. And later on, she's a young woman, a beautiful girl, and they didn't even. Well, of course, that's their agenda. Is they support that. So I don't know. I My question is, what do voters think of that, and especially Democrat voters? Are you happy with your party? Are these the people? And I'm asking you, are these the people you want representing you?
Mm.
That won't stand up for the
Oh, he
very
passed away.
fundamentals. Who?
The young boy.
Oh, he did?
He did.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Now I did see something that said that it was going around that he had passed away, but that his father said he was in school.
Okay.
What was his name?
I don't remember.
DJ.
Yeah, DJ.
Was it DJ? Okay, but what was his yeah, that's Shireen, that's where I saw it too. I saw the post about that and I was like, huh? He did? And then I saw something else where it said that he hadn't.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't?
No, it's
Okay.
rumored on social media. Don't trust anything on social media.
See, wow, why would they do that? I know, right? We shouldn't
Yeah.
trust Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
So, got one more thing here. Okay. From a biblical lens, as believers, how should we respond when we see leadership with that we disagree with? How should we respond? I'm going to throw that one at you, LaTanya.
Oh, okay. So, how can you repeat that one again? I wasn't expecting you to throw it at me.
As believers,
As a believer,
how should we respond when we see leadership we disagree with?
when we see leadership, well, respectfully, because you respect the office that they're in. You respect that, just like we have the president, we have pastors when they're in these different roles. They're in that, but I do think we should speak up. I think we should voice our disagreement, and yes, pray. Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah,
what
I agree.
yeah.
Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself. We're all neighbors
Yeah.
to each other. We're all brothers and sisters. And the church is all brothers and sisters. Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
And somebody that we don't agree with, we're still to treat them with love,
Right.
love and respect.
Right.
We are, no matter how despicable we think they are.
Yes.
And we're to pray for them.
Absolutely. You know what I really liked, and I actually did pray for this State of the Union. I prayed, and I in some things even Pacific. And I really liked how President Trump held it together, because probably when he was president before, or I don't know, like especially when Omar was saying
Mhm.
the things that she was doing, he the the Trump that we kind of have seen in the past could have really went off rail and been like, "Oh, you nasty woman," because he said stuff. He can really say some words. And
Mhm.
so it was like, I'm not saying he necessarily ignored it, because I noticed in his voice he got more, he raised it up, a little more, and he kept on point. And
Right.
I thought that was good for him, because he will a lot of times go off, script, as they say, but it really seemed like he kept it together. And he's, I mean, maybe some of, like when he called them crazy and some other stuff, I'm sure that wasn't in the script, you
Right.
know, but it was, I mean, gosh, what else? So, anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm going to ask our audience, drop a yes in the chat if you think this backfired for the Democrats.
Mm,
Okay, we'll give it a minute.
okay.
All right. So anybody have any questions? We're wrapping this up, and we want to make sure that we touch base with you. If you have any questions or comments that we don't get to tonight, we will get to them during the week. So if there are no questions that we can respond to, well, Latanya, this has been great. Thank you for another great Faith and Freedom, the conversation.
Yes.
And God bless everyone. And we hope to see you next time.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And as always, until next time.
Until
Oh, we
next
have a
time.
question. We have a
Oh,
question.
all right. What's the question?
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
Shireen.
we're waiting. Oh, okay. It's not the. Oh,
How do we get that background? What, the one with the hands or the one? Well, I kind of coordinated the hands background with our new background that I had ChatGPT make. It's the new Faith and Freedom, the conversation. Okay.
I
So
couldn't download my background, so I'm working on it. Oh, yes, the one with the hands.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
made that
know.
one.
I like
I
that.
I made that one in Canva.
How did you put it on StreamYard?
Just uploaded it through the media assets. Thank you, Connie. All right, guys. Until next time. God bless you. We love you.
We love you.
We'll be praying for you. Good night.